There's a story. I'm not sure which sort of mythology it's from, but I think they were gods, and one of the gods was not happy with those people, so they split them apart, making a man and a woman. The reason that we're put on this earth, according to the mythology, is that you're supposed to meet your other half to be the best that you can be. Sam is the other half of me. I feel like she betters me and I better her, and I feel like we're an unstoppable force.
So I was staying down in Florida with some family, my grandparents, and I was planning on being down there for a few months. New Year's Eve, my cousin convinced me to go to this apocalypse-themed party at a goth club called The Castle.
I was invited by my friend Charles, and she was invited by her cousin Allegra. And how it all started was Charles and Allegra started talking.
And at the end of the night, it was about 3 a.m., and we all kind of congregated outside the club and met each other. And Dustin is very quiet and reserved, and I'm very forward and outgoing. So I approached him and I introduced myself. I said, "Hey, I'm Sam, what's your name?"
Everyone decided that they were hungry, so we went to Denny's.
And he sat next to me, and we chit-chatted for quite a while about film and writing, and it was cool. That was kind of how we met initially.
And then after like a couple of hours of that, then I just opened up, and it was interesting for me because I've never opened up like that with anybody before.
I think one of the things that we really connected on a lot was our love of books and reading and literature.
I have a weird social anxiety where I just observe and I just sit in the back in the corner, which apparently is a huge turn on for Sam because she's magnetized to those people, apparently.
I guess I kind of took it as a little bit of a challenge to kind of get through and break through to this person who was so reserved. I thought he was kind of standoffish at first and did not initially strike me as the kind of person that I'd want to, seek out to really get to know. But he surprised me. He was really interesting. The next day when we all hung out together, it was New Year's Day, we went to the movies and we saw Twilight, Breaking Dawn.
I don't know.
And we spent the entire movie making fun of it. And Charles and Dustin were making jokes the whole time, and I think that kind of helped me to realize that he just was really funny.
Well, the first few hours of that day, I was just there to be a wingman for Charles and Allegra. After we went to go play pool, and I got to show off my amazing pool skills.
There was definitely a little bit of a charge at one point while we were playing pool, and he kind of just like brushed his hand across my arm, and I was surprised at my reaction to it. Like I really was drawn to him at that point.
And then we just started talking more intimately together.
Probably, I think it was about 2 weeks in when we realized that we loved each other, which was crazy.
Yeah, we said I love you like a couple weeks after we met, which is really weird. It's a big deal.
I went to Florida to just be on my own, you know, to not spend time with men and just do my own thing. You know, obviously at some point you start thinking about like what's gonna happen with this? Like, I'm going back to Michigan in 8 weeks.
I knew that I wanted to still continue to be with her and that I was willing to drop everything in my life at that point and just move up here with her and be with her.
He sort of offered, you know, it came up in conversation and he was like, you know, if it's not a weird thing, I mean, I could move up there.
My dad made a joke that she was just using me to get a ride up to Michigan, and that once we get up here, she's gonna have a husband and a couple of kids just waiting for her, and then she was gonna say, all right, thanks for the ride, bye, and then I had to drive all the way down to Florida.
I think a lot of people definitely were really confused by it and surprised, like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? You've only known this guy for 2 months. The fact that he was willing to do that and that neither of us felt weird about it, I'm a gut instinct kind of person, and I think I just kind of knew, you know, that I had to go for it and see where it went.
After about maybe a year and a half of us being together, we knew that we wanted to get married. So we started looking for rings, and she found one that she really liked. I bought it and I sent it down to my dad in Florida.
I had a feeling that it was going to happen while we were in Florida. We went down for Christmas.
And I figured that'd be the best time to do it with friends and family around. I called her dad with my phone using FaceTime so that they could see it.
At the end, when we had opened up all of the gifts, he said, oh wait, there's one more thing. And that's when I knew it was happening.
And so Daniel handed me the ring, and then I got on my knee.
I thought to myself, okay, all right, this is happening now.
It didn't seem very intimate because there were so many people around us. I felt like I was rushing through it because I was so nervous doing it.
I didn't really know how to react to it, but it was still really sweet, and I know he doesn't remember what he said.
And I sort of talked, said things.
We kind of had a moment together, just the two of us, and talked about it a little bit. And
I actually asked her, and then we both just laid in bed holding each other and crying for a couple of hours.
It was really sappy, but it was our moment, so that I think that feels like the real engagement for me, was when we kind of did that together.
I am excited to marry Samantha because she makes me happy to be me.
Dustin is a very unique person. He is a great listener, which is good because I talk a lot.
Sam is very easy to talk to. She, whenever I would have a lull, she would always pipe in and say things to make me more engaged in the conversation.
He's the kind of person who is so much more than what you see on the surface. He gives off this very serious vibe, but he's also a very silly person.
She just has an aura about her. She's very optimistic and peppy, and if I was not saying things, she would always say things to start a conversation.
We want so many of the same things, and we share so many of the same values and beliefs, and that's really important to both of us.
In the 3.5, 4 years that we've been together, we've been through a lot of stuff. I feel like we hit that, and then we grew past it, and now we keep growing closer and closer together as we get older and older and more mature.
We want to do something good for the world, and we want to see the world, and we want to go places together and experience everything that we can together, and at the same time we make each other better people.
I'm excited to live my life day to day with her, just traveling the world, meeting new people, eating all the food.
The most important thing we can do in life is love people and give and become better and grow. And I'm really excited to do that with him.